Hey
Let's get into it.
guys, Matt Sayers here, and today I'm back with the spirit of Bailey, who still hasn't shown up for a podcast episode that much.
It's just life's just been getting to him.
To you, you mean, right?
Yeah, to me.
You said him.
Yeah, referring to myself in the third person.
Are you really gonna pull a Genshin Impact?
Perhaps. We'll see.
You just start referring to yourself as Bailey. Every time it's like you want to say I, instead say Bailey.
Yeah.
Like, you know which character I'm talking about in Genshin Impact, right?
Yeah.
Paimon.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Anyway, we're almost at the end of Higurashi for good. We just got one last season to get through. And oh boy, is it a doozy. We got
Yeah,
Higurashi
you're telling me.
SOTSU. And I will say a lot of my notes are going to be very much almost the same. But that's because like we're sort of retreading steps here, aren't we?
Yeah.
As in a brand new 1983, Kenshi wakes up to the day and Rena cooks herself lunch in prep for school. Neon ties up her hair and Setsuko notes Rika's odd behaviour for checking the calendar. Knowing Rika won't escape June 1983. Rena tells her dad she's heading out to school when he mentions he was drinking with Rena, which annoys Rena. Let's not get those names confused.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know who Rina is. I got a pictured in my head.
I actually made sure when I was covering this stuff, I was referencing earlier episodes that they reference in clips as well.
Because I honestly, this is the first time I'm. It's because it's probably been so long. That's why. But I think it's the first time I've ever seen Rina.
No, Rena makes an appearance during Higurashi Kai,
Okay, because I'm drawing
and
a
in
blank on
that,
her.
I'm pretty sure Rena does kill her in that.
Yeah.
Which is not a spoiler for this because, well, it's you introduce Rena, you sort of expect it almost.
Yeah.
Especially if you've seen the of like Higurashi Kai at least.
Mm.
Actually, no, I think she was even introduced even like in the original. If I remember correctly, in the timeline number 6. Actually, no, timeline number 5 because the third part and the fourth part of the first season is the same timeline. Confusing. The usual meetup on the way to school happens between Keiichi, Rena, and Mion. Rika is amazed by the elaborate trap Setsuko has set up. Allowing Setsuko a moment to tease Rika without revealing anything. I love how Setsuko gets to be so coy with like her powers.
Oh yeah.
And I will note Satiko uses her like ability of like changing the timeline to set up the trip rope because it wasn't there. Like in
Yeah,
the
she's a
shot, you can
sneak.
see it's not there, and then it's like it's there.
Yeah, because we see how it's not there. Then it's a different timeline, isn't it? Where she ended up setting it up.
No, it's it's a weird thing of like she snaps her fingers and it's just there.
Ah, yeah.
It's almost like she's redoing the exact same timeline just to put the rope. Sorry. Do
All
you want to
right.
take the next point?
All right. Where were we?
Second point.
Second point. Yeah, there we go. Skipping to Sunday 12th, Rena gets Keiichi to join her on a trip to the damn dump. And it's a pretty cool place, I gotta admit it.
Yeah, it's a nice place
That'd
to
be a
hide
fun
bodies
place to hang
too.
out. Yeah. Rena is quick to jump down into the dump to look for treasure, and when Keiichi follows, she tells him to stay up with their stuff. Rena finds the Kenta-kun statue, but unable to get it out, she heads to Keiichi to say she's done. Surprised to see him talking to Tomatake, and this is where I was getting confused
Yeah,
originally, because I was like, is this... Well, I've already watched this episode, like,
like I
what one
love
was I
how this
watching?
is like it's like the paranoid timeline of the original, except
From
it's
a
it's
from
both at the
different point of
same
view.
both characters at the same time instead of just Kechi.
Mm.
Because Kechi's whole thing in the first ever story of Higurashi is that he was paranoid about Mion and Rena trying to harm him and stuff like that,
Yeah.
which he's justified in that timeline.
Yeah. On the way home, Keiichi lies and says he's disappointed to have not gotten Kenta-kun out for Rena, and a little shocked when she mentioned his arm would come off from yanking it.
Yeah,
Returning home,
I love how it's just like it's a nice, it's an unintentional like joke, or like an unintentional reference to what happened. It's like the arm will come off if you yank it. So like that's what happened to the victim of the dam.
I heard
Essentially,
yanking it too much can make you go blind.
really, really, really.
Yes, yes,
Why
but
don't you
seriously,
go do that? Huh?
returning home, Rena is shocked to see her dad heading out to be with Rena so late at night. Rena takes a moment to reflect on why she drops the I from her real name, Rena, and it's to forget
It's
all
more
the
like a
icky
Raina, I think it is.
Rena, okay,
Because you're sort of
and
saying
it's to
Ray
forget.
like the character from what's I think Neon Genesis is what I'm trying to think of.
Oh, okay, and it's to forget all the icky things that happened. While vacuuming her dad's office, Rena finds a Blue Mermaid Gentleman's Club card with Rena's name in it. Sorry, no,
Rena.
Rena's.
Rena.
This is Rena
Yeah.
and Raina. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
By the way, my brain just pictured just Rena just like on her hands and feet just sucking up the rest of her mouth. Like SpongeBob.
Of course you did.
It
On
is funny.
Monday,
It's a funny picture of like
then you just need the SpongeBob music. Dun, 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 dun. On Monday, Satoko and Rika race each other to find the marker in the scavenger hunt. Rena figures that the marker would be somewhere Keiichi would never think of, landing on the second floor storage room as her location. Rena runs into Keiichi in the storage room at the same time Rika and Satoko run into each other, getting to the storage room. Mion is surprised by the loud crash of wash basins Satoko just dropped on Rika's head, mentioning that it sounds like someone won. And as Satoko's prize for winning, Rika gets her with a loaded boxing glove in a box.
yeah, we're
While Satoko
really,
looks,
real. I'm really am reiterating the points.
yeah, and she's got the KO on her face.
Yeah.
While Satoko looks in the window's reflection, her red eyes show in the reflection while not showing to everyone else.
So yeah, the reason why I did such a like, basically a rewrite of the notes is because it's to make those sort of moments that stand out more.
I
Because like
understand.
we get it's like repeat, repeat, repeat. Wait, this is different. Yeah, and so Rena decides she needs to go to the nurse's office, and meanwhile Satoko will go wash her face because boxing glove to the face with KO on it. You gotta wash that off. Taking the opportunity of Rena's isolation, Satoko sneaks into the nurse's office and injects Rena with the H173 serum that she stole from the area clinic. Rena wakes up and heads home, not noticing the used needle carelessly tossed away by Satoko. It's like, if I was in this situation, I'd have a moment of like, is that Satoko's? Or like, why is that freshly used? It's like, either two things happened there, or like three things happened there. Someone shot up right in the room where Rena was sleeping. Someone injected her with something, or the nurse came by and did some work, but did not notice Rena at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something fishy's up there. Maybe she bribed the nurse.
No, Satsuko just does it. And then
Like a cat burglar, she sneaks in.
it's interesting how careless she is about that, because it's like she knows she can just reset anyway.
Yeah, it's similar to you've seen Deadpool, right?
Number 3?
No, that's like the first two, if I mean.
Yeah.
You know in the second one where he fights Cable and Cable's shooting at him and he's trying to block the bullets, but
Yeah.
he fails.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's interesting is if you actually watch that X-Men Origins, Deadpool back then when he's just still Wade Wilson,
Yeah.
he puts his two swords together and it looks like a dual-bladed lightsaber, and he's deflecting all the bullets that get shot at him. And it reminded me of that because she can do all this, it doesn't matter if she's being careless.
Yeah.
Like Deadpool, it doesn't matter if he gets shot, he's immortal. But the one in Origins before he becomes the muteless
Yeah.
Deadpool, he can die. So
Yeah.
I think it's funny how it's like
Over
because
time, he's
Deadpool's
just
immortal,
haven't kept up the training.
yeah, that type of thing. And as I was watching Rena, I was like, yeah, it's gonna come back to bite her in the ass. Like that's what I was thinking. Because even though she can change the timeline and that, something's gonna happen
Yeah,
where
she's
it's
gonna
like,
get
okay, I
caught.
screwed up here. Yeah,
And like we saw already that she does get caught. So, like, we're in the weird spot of like we can do spoilers, but we can't do spoilers.
yeah.
It's like spoilers for some things, spoilers not spoilers for others. Anyway, returning to her home, once again, her dad has gone to Okonomiya for Rina, so she takes the chance to search for evidence of Rina's trickery to Rina's dad's wallet. It's like, I like the fact that we have added like Rina in here as like a little bit of extra flavor, because like Rina was added in late in the original Higurashi, and it's like we haven't seen her in the whole first season, so it's nice to actually see something with her. As dark as that can sound. You want to take the next point?
Oh, I'll let you take one more and then I'll take the rest.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, so in a flashback, we see Rina's mum talk to Rina about Akihito and how Rina doesn't like him because he teases her. Suddenly, Rina's mum hits her with the hard question of if she and dad, of if she and dad lived in different houses, who would she live with? Which is then followed by the bombshell of her mum thinking of divorcing her dad and marrying Akihito. And Rina gets upset with her mum, saying she hates her for deciding to leave her dad. And to add, this mum is probably the worst mum any anime.
I can think of a few others.
Well, have you
What's her
ever
name?
had
Mom.
a mother, like a character, be like, oh yeah, I would cheat on my dad, like, cheat on my husband with his brother to divorce
You
the
remember
dad and
Mirai Nikki,
reveal
Future
that he's
Diary?
like she's pregnant with the brother's kid.
Yeah, that is bad.
Yeah, because she adds the worst thing ever, saying that she's pregnant with Akihito's child. It's like, no wonder why Rena was so upset. And that night, Rena mentions she knows who her mum left him for, to which her dad slaps her before apologizing for such an action. It's like, we don't, we don't have a good family here at all. But at least the dad recognizes what he does right after he does it,
Yeah.
and never does it again. Like, Rena regrets not shunning Akihito to keep her family together, and that her family fell apart because of her inaction. It's like, and this is like the seed of Rena's obsession for the rest of this season, or for like the rest of this timeline. Like, it's a good explanation of like why Rena goes a bit nutso. Isn't it?
Yeah.
You want to take the next point now, considering it's much less text to read?
The Flower Road one, yeah?
Yeah.
Visiting Flower Road, Rena finds the Blue Mermaid and gets turned away for being too young, so instead she hides out in a cafe. Conveniently, Rena and one of her fellow co-workers enter the cafe, allowing Rena to overhear her talk about her dad and all the money he has. However, Rena leaves before hearing that Rena sympathizes for her situation, since she was also raised by a single parent. But we know this Rena, she's a scab.
Uh, the Rena that we know, she is like she worked with Tepe in the original, as and like yeah, her and Tepe were working together to scam Rena's dad out of his money.
Yeah.
Although this is the first time with Rena that we actually get to see a positive spin on her character. And I like the fact that it's like, yes, she might be a bad person, but even a bad person can have a good streak. Like, there are some like extremely evil like characters in like movies that still draw the line at not killing kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I forget exactly what it was, but it's like killing kids is sort of the big like line to cross, really.
It's like in Hollywood, killing a dog was a big line across. They'd show if a person killed a dog, you know they're evil.
Yeah, and that's I feel like that's basically the whole basis of John Wick.
Yeah, that's funny. You know, they didn't actually want his dog to die in the original script.
Mm.
They said that was too much, and the guys like who wrote it is like, no, it's a metaphor because his wife died of cancer and she gave him the dog, and so the dog's meant to be the last thing he has of her. So when the Russians kill the dog, they metaphorically kill his wife,
Yeah.
and so that's why he goes on the hunt because it's not like he can beat up cancer, you know. or decapitated and shoot it in the head.
But
He can kill the people that killed his dog.
Yeah. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Let's get to
Alright, we're on
episode 2.
episode 2. Who's going, me or you?
You can go.
Alright, see ya. June 13th comes around, and Rena is out shopping for supplies for a future project, which includes tape, rope, and blue tarp, while muttering about having to work harder. Yeah, I'm sure she's... This isn't suspicious at all. No.
I wonder
June
what
14th.
that's for.
Yeah. Right, I was actually watching South Park last night, and they go to TP the person's house, and the guy's like, and they got to buy all the toilet paper, and it's like 10 packs, and the guy's just like, toilet paper, toilet paper, toilet paper, toilet paper. He's like, wait a minute, this is a firecracker. So what are you kids up to? And it's like, oh, nothing. It's like, all right, toilet paper, toilet paper. There's like 20 packs of toilet paper. Alright, June 14th has Rena cooking breakfast and her dad asking about the stuff from the warehouse store, which he's able to explain away as being for the statue she found at the damn dump.
And she has a
camper
moment of
van.
panic of like, wait, what? I really should have brought the stuff home with me. Why did I do that?
Yeah. Visiting her camper van away from home at the dump, Rena hides what is most likely the hardware store supplies inside. And yeah, I got to say, that's a cozy little camper van. It reminds you of the one in Ed, Ed and Eddie, the old show, where they go to that junkyard. Oh, well, they'd hang out in this little cool looking van. Not like the caravan, but it was alright.
Anyway, so on the way to school, Rena gets a nice old verbal dress down from Keiichi for sleeping in. Or sleeping in. So, like... And even Mia weighs in on Rena sleeping in. Rena says she didn't sleep in, but that she was busy with something and can't tell them. She also says she needs to skip club today, and with how the weather is turning bad, Mion cancels club for the day. Rena leaves the school, and Satoko watches her from the second story window. It's just like the most deadpan face you'll ever see in an anime. Like, dead
sorry,
eyes.
can you repeat that?
Like, Satoko watching Rena leave from the window is like the most deadpan, the most dead eyes. It's like unfeeling sort of sense of behavior. Rena does even more shopping for supplies, grabbing trash bags, cotton towels, odor remover, because I guess you need that to get rid of certain smells.
Yeah.
And a hacksaw without raising any suspicion, taking it to the camper van for safe trip. It's like a teenager buying all this stuff, and it's like no one's gonna ask any questions. It's like supplies, trash bags, cotton towels, odor remover, all believable stuff. You're probably like cleaning out the house, sort of, you know.
Yeah.
But then the hacksaw. It's like, wait, what the? What are you up to? And getting home, Rena is surprised by the appearance of Rena, who tries to start a conversation with Rena. Rena is quick to say she knows about her, mentioning how her dad says she's great, and gets the reason why Rena is at her house. Rena says she was actually there to see Rena, and so Rena invites her on the treasure hunt. Heading back to the dam dump. It's like, we go on a bear hunt. We're going on a treasure hunt.
Yep. A treasure hunt of death.
Yeah. You want to have some fun with the next one?
Sure. Over at the dump, Rena gets weird around Rena and takes her to the camper van hideout. Rena mentions how nobody can hear what happens here. And like, red flag alert, if I'm hearing that, I'm like I'm GTFOing.
no one can hear what happens here. I'm like, okay, bye.
Yeah, you GTFO. Yeah, Rena mentions how nobody can hear what happens here, and reaches into the camper van to pull out the tools of the project.
And it's gonna be
Rena,
quite a project.
yeah, Rena ignores Rena's request for her to wait outside the camper van because of the rain, and shares the truth about herself and Rena's dad in an attempt to apologize for tricking him into spending the emergency money on Rena and booze. Not that Rena cares, as she starts choking Rena to death. And I find it's like funny when she starts choking her. Rena's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's just a bit too
Yeah,
tight."
it's a bit.
What do you think she's gonna do? Give you a massage?
It's like.
It's like have you seen Tales from the Borderlands, the Telltale game?
No.
There's this scene where you have to sneak behind a guy and snap his neck, and like the character you're playing as, he jumps on the guy, he's like, and he's trying to choke him out, and you match X, but then when you look, he can't do it. The
Yeah.
guy's just standing up. He goes, "Oh, Dale, is that you?" And then the other character's like, "You need help killing him?" And he's like, "No, no, I got this." And he's like, "Wait, this isn't Dale. Wait, are you actually trying to kill me?" And then like he's trying to do it, and the girl's like, "You need help," and the guy that's trying to be killed, he's like, "No, no, 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 no. You let him do it all by himself. He needs to learn."
I'm just.
Okay,
For some reason, I thought of something else. But I can't remember what it was.
yeah. All right. So while Renner is trying to choke Rena to death, Rena ends up hitting her with a lamp, and she tries to escape in the dam dump, but she slips in the rain
And like
gets
the
falls
loose
all in
trash
trash.
that's like. So she's like climbing up, and the rain's making the slope slick, and also she steps on loose trash, which makes her fall.
Yeah. So she slips, and she's like, "No, please spare me." And Ren's like, "No, I'm not gonna do that." And then she swings her Nata into Rena's head.
Again,
Then hacks up.
explanation for what a nata is: it's like a cleaver with a little point at the end.
Kind of looks like something from this trailer, this animated trailer of Assassin's Creed Revelations with
Mm.
Ezio. I'll have to send it to you later. So
Or like it's a nata with a vampire tooth.
after Rena hacks up after Rena hacks up Rena's body. So she's dragging the dead weight to a safe location. He's like, okay, but then I
Yeah,
believe
and
it's the
like all that's
bag.
left to
I
do
don't,
is just hack it away. She
yeah,
is
but then the bag I
adamant.
think rips, is it or something? And she
At
can't
one point
drag it.
that does happen. It like gets
Yeah, so
caught
she
in
has
something.
yeah, and so she has to bury trash over the pieces of the body.
Yeah, I refer to Rena as the dead weight from now on because well, or like the Rena chunks, because gotta have a bit of creativity when you write notes. Yeah, and
The
Satoko
next
is like
day,
just off in the distance, just like watching the scene. It's just like
like,
Satoko,
good,
Satoko
very
just
good.
watched Rena what kill Rena, like it's nothing.
Yeah, it's like, oh boy, here I go killing again. Like, you know that guy, Rick and Morty, he's like,
Yeah,
children, animals, old people, doesn't matter. I just love killing.
yeah, Crabopius Mob Bob or stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that's it. Oh, I like that. Oh boy, here I go killing again.
uh, hold on. The,
But
I just want to talk about Satoko for a moment.
yeah,
Uh, I just want to take us back to season 1 for a moment here. Remember
yeah,
how Satoko watched the 100 years of Rika's life?
yeah. Well, what about it?
She hates studying.
Yeah, which is ironic.
Like, are we sure Satoko doesn't have autism or something?
I think it's like with me sometimes if I have to study, if it's not something I like, then it's like I'm not interested.
Yeah,
But
that's a part of autism. I have. I'm gonna reveal this here. I have autism, which basically allows me to be really good with numbers, and most of my research is on stuff that interests me.
Yeah.
That's why this whole podcast exists, really. And like the past one of Ruby versus reality. That's why it exists. All because I have autism and love anime.
And then Total Gamer Junkie loves anime too. As well as hentai.
Oi! Keep that out of here. Anyway, the next day at school, Red explains she has to pass on club again for stuff she has to do, of which Kechi seems to know what's going on. It's like, how does he know what's going on, huh? And Renna checks on the Rena chunks at the damn dump when Kechi suddenly shows up to help with the Kenta-kun statue. Oh, that's what. That's what it is. And tossing the trash on top of, tossing around the trash on top of the Kenta-kun statue, Kechi mentions how they need something to hack through the wood. Rena has a freak out over Kechi having potentially seen the body parts, resolving to kill Kechi now too, grabbing a nada from the camper van. Kechi notices Rena raising a nada and turns around at the last second, which snaps Rena out of her murder rage. It's like, we're in like Rena just being a murderer, and but also like a kind person. It's like split personality sort of stuff, but it's not that at all. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But that night, Kechi's mum runs into Rena at the town supermarket to provide exposition on Kechi's terrible cooking skills, which we already know about, and that if she had to stay late at work, she might get Rena to cook for him. It's like, oh, that's a perfect opportunity right there, isn't it? On her way home, Oishi pulls up beside her and uses the air conditioning excuse to get Rena in the car to ask her questions about Rena, real name Ritsuko. I don't think they ever revealed her real name in the original. Anyway, Oishi says she's been missing since yesterday after visiting Rena's house and is trying to retrace her steps. Rena explains how Rena wanted to be friends with her because they were both raised by single parents, so somehow she knows that detail, even though she left the cafe before learning that detail. Before leaving, Oishi mentions how he wants a reprieve from Oyashiro's curse this year. It's like, I think it might already been happening, mate. Yeah, a bit slow. We're already on to episode 3, where under the torchlight, Rena digs a hole to store the Rena chunks, not the Rika chunks, and gets paranoid about the possibility someone's watching her bury a corpse. It's like, yes, you're burying a corpse. You gotta be a bit nervous. The next day, the Games Club plays zombie tag with Rena getting chased by Mion and Satoko, only to run into Rika and be tricked by her. After the game she won, Kenshi is surprised by Rena's ability to get someone killed, which she overhears and misunderstands as something about Rena. That night, Rena buries more of the Rena chunks in a different hole. I don't know if it's more or she like dug up the original hole and then moved them or something. It's not.
I think maybe like she couldn't. As I said before, the bag was ripped, so I think maybe she couldn't like move it too much in case the bag kept falling apart. So she had to like kind of carefully drag it to a new place and pick up light stuff you can carry to put over it.
That makes sense. You want to take the next one?
Where were we? Mion announces.
Are you mixing Rena in there?
Mion announces that at the what? Sorry, what?
Are you mixing Rena in there accidentally?
Yeah. Mion announces that at the Watanagashi festival they'll be having a 4-demon battle royale, but with Keiichi joining. It will be a 5-demon battle royale. Seems like Rena finally found the right location to bury the Rena chunks. Right near a cliff, but with Keiichi supposedly knowing, Rena wonders if her family is still being punished for leaving Hinamazawa.
Just a quick
At the
question.
festival,
Quick question though. If she's burying it right near a cliff, if that cliff's near water, why is she not just tossing it off the cliff?
because like body parts that can often float, like even like a full body, or even if you
Hey,
cut an arm, it's gonna float. So
hey,
you'd have to,
here's this interesting new technology. It's called rocks.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. She'd have to tie the pieces to cinder blocks,
Yeah,
or
that's what I'm
like for
saying.
as
Or
an example, and drop
like
it in the
just have
water.
enough rocks. You put enough rocks in there, you're gonna
Yeah,
be sinking those chunks.
yeah. I don't know why she doesn't do that.
Yeah, I guess it's just the fact that it might be more of a cliff overlooking the town, but we never really got to see anything from the cliff. Anyway, continue, please.
At the festival, Satoko steps on Keiichi's foot for not calling her a lady because she was photographed by Tomataki without her permission. As everyone makes their way to the stage to see Rika's performance, Keiichi takes Rena's hand to make sure she gets there. Once again, Rika's performance is shown, but this time from an outsider's point of view. Down at the river, Rena does her prayer to Oyashiro while explaining who Oyashiro is to Keiichi. Further down the waterway, Rena's futon cotton fluff is... That's not a euphemism, is it?
No, it is like the
Okay.
cotton fluff from the futon.
Alright, just making sure. Rena's futon cotton fluff is mysteriously sucked into the riverbed. While spying on Keiichi, Rena wonders if he actually saw the Rena chunks.
Like,
Keiichi gets a visit.
if that was
So,
going to be a euphemism, what type of euphemism would that be?
well, you know, Japan has different types of sayings and whatnot.
I'm not. I
So,
wasn't
and the
trying to be a
culture is
dirt.
different.
I'm not. I wasn't trying to be dirty with that. But yeah, remember the detail of the cotton fluff getting sucked into the riverbed. It's an important detail.
Yeah, I'm still going.
I'll take this next one because I put
Uh,
something here that is very interesting.
uh,
Keiji gets a vision. Keiji gets a visit from Oishi to ask questions about Mio and Tomitake, but Rena misinterprets the chat to be about Rina. It's like she's just so focused on Rina that everything apparently ends up being about Rina. Satoko distracts Rena from her spying on Keiji to mention how today's club game is a Guess the Murderer card game. We don't actually get to see the game this time round, but as a note, do you remember the game?
is this where where Keiichi tells the two kids, "Yeah, help me win, and you can have these
No, that's a
photographs."
different one. That's a different one. The
Oh,
card
then
game
no,
that they're playing.
no, I don't.
So, for for those that actually went and watched season one after we covered season one, the final, like, if you remember the card game, the final answer was Rena in the lounge with the rope. And if we take a look at what's happened so far, the rope is connected with Rena's death. And the lounge is connected with the fight between Rena and Keiichi later on. That game, like the answers of that game actually set up everything. So it was like the game was actually a pivotal piece of evidence in what's about to happen and what has happened. if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It's like it is interesting because like I forgot how the rope was used. Wasn't it like she tried to choke? Oh no, she was using her hands to choke
So,
Rena. But like
sure, it wasn't a rope.
no, but she used the rope to tie up the chunks.
Yeah, that's right. She uses her hands to choke Rena, then Rena hits her with the lamp. Then she cuts up Rena with that nutter, and then she uses the rope to
Tie up the chunks. Yeah,
tie all the pieces together. Yeah.
it's like FNAF. After school, Keiji asks if anyone is hiding stuff from him, with Rena turning it around on him about him hiding something from her at the damn dump, and talking with Oishi while hiding the fact she knows it was Oishi he spoke to. It's like the layers of it. It's like you got the surface layer of like Keiji being suspicious of Rena, and Rena being suspicious of Keiji, but Rena goes much deeper of like, why were you talking to Oishi? How, and like, she's not revealing she knows Oishi. It's like so many layers to it, and you're like wondering how she knew he was talking to Oishi, and we got to see that. Then the scene smash cuts to Keiichi's call from Oishi, but this time we get to see Rena show up at Keiichi's house, and we get to see it from like her perspective. And Rena is excited Keiichi's dad will be bringing them snacks, only to get to Keiichi's room at the wrong time to overhear Keiichi and Oishi talking about her. Again, misunderstanding the conversation as they're talking about the window smashing incident. And again, I made sure I cross-reference with the first season to get I could tell you the exact lines, almost.
Yeah, no, I remember that when he realized that Dad said, "Oh, your friend was here," and I was like, "Oh shit, she heard all that."
Yeah. I like to, like, really be detailed. You want to take the next point?
After school, Rena checks in on her dad to make sure he ate lunch, but he didn't eat because he's worried about Rena and not being able to contact her. Taking a phone call from Keiichi's mum, she accepts the opportunity to make dinner for Keiichi while his parents are in Tokyo. Rena packs her ingredients to make a delicious meal for Keiichi and
It's
heads
like,
straight to his
I'm doing, like, the bit
place.
from, Austin Powers.
Ah, yeah, with Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil's like, ingredients for a delicious meal.
That's like, you're not gonna kill him? No, I'm gonna place them in a separate room where they can easily escape. It's like, look, I got a gun in my room. I'll get it right now. We'll shoot them. It's like, shh. I got a big bag of shh for you.
Mississippi
Alright,
stockings.
while all the shouting and door banging goes down on Keiichi's front door, Rika is watching from a distance, hoping Keiichi lets Rena in. Sorry. Remembering what she told Keiichi. Eventually, Keiichi opens the door to Rena and hugs her, letting her in, leading to the fight between Rena and Keiichi, mixed with Rika's joy that she did what she thinks is the right thing.
I love that. Like, it's like the absolute violence, and then you just have Rika just like, yeah, yes.
Celebrate good times, come on!
Let's not get copyrighted.
Ah, yeah. Friday morning, Rika finally gets a reality check when both Rena and Keiichi don't show up to school, and she reveals that they were both injured and unconscious. Rika cannot believe what she is hearing so much, so she calls Chi a liar and walks out of the classroom. Heading to Keiichi's house, Rika sees the truth for herself and walks home to stab herself in the throat and other locations with a knife multiple times and splattering the household with more blood than a little kid should have.
Yeah.
Satoko,
Sorry, I'm just. It's just you can visualize the moment so vividly.
Satoko returns home to find Rika dead and slices her own throat to chase Rika down.
Like that moment of like Rika just goes full dedication, just in, and you don't get much blood on the instab, but more the pull
Yep.
out. Because it's like it makes sense because like that stab in would not have as much blood as like the release of pressure from such an action. I feel like I feel like I'm saying too much now, aren't I?
Yeah. You want to take the next point?
Let me just uh, be quiet about that and continue down to the next one. With episode 4, Marika wakes to Hayu appearing, and with the knowledge of her self-elimination, but not how she did it. Although she is able to infer that she used a knife to stab herself in the throat. Hayu asks Rika what happened in the fragment, finding out that Rika thinks they killed each other due to paranoia caused by the Hinamizawa syndrome, which is not a bad guess. Rika also thinks that her words to Keiji helped fix the situation, but they didn't by what she knows. It's like it's like that layer that she doesn't know exactly everything. Before travelling into the next fragment, Rika apologizes to Hayu for saying she would be sick of seeing Hayu's face. Because it was like 5 years before she saw Hayu again.
I think so.
All the while, Satoko watches this private moment from her own floating remains and notes how unpleasant it is to slice her own neck to the ear. Satoko knows Rika will think Mio is behind what's going on and revels in knowing something Rika doesn't. It's like she's getting the pleasure of being the smartest one in the room. Anyway, back on June 5th, Sunday, Satoko prepares breakfast for Rika when Rika wakes up and lies to her about waking up from a scary dream and not remembering the details from it. Satoko knows Rika just lied to her and notes that Rika knows how to handle a blade, wanting to find a more pleasant way to kill Rika. And again, note this detail of like Rika knows how to handle a blade, because we have seen her handle knives pretty well in the past.
Yeah.
If we recall in the original, when she gets like injected with the syndrome, like the fluid, and she like takes the knife, puts it like the handle on the wall, and just goes. Man, Rika's just having an unlucky life, isn't she?
Yeah.
Like 2 times she stabbed herself in the neck. She decides to visit Teppei and forgives him for his sour behavior towards her, and this is Satoko. Teppei wants to get Satoko some tea, invite her in only to remember the mess inside, mentioning a mahjong parlor or a cafe instead. Satoko uses Teppei's kindness to get inside a race course to watch a horse race, with Wanyan Dalo winning the race. And Cheshire Cat Munchie coming second. I included the names of the horses because Wanyan is a heavily referenced being. Like, it's heavily referenced across the works of Riki Shio 7 since Yumineko When They Cry as a blob-like creature. And with Yumineko, that comes after Higurashi technically does share character from Higurashi. So it is technically the same universe.
Really?
Yes. Higurashi and Yumineko share a universe. Because, like, Yumineko When They Cry is when the storks cry. And the entire thing takes place on an island, from what I've read. And Tepe is happy to win thanks to Satoko. He says they need to leave because her magic only works once. It's like, fair play there, Satoko, fair play. Care to take the next point?
Oh, you can take the next one. I'll take the next one after.
Really?
Yeah, and then I'll finish them off to the next episode, I mean.
Yeah, obviously. Returning to Tepe's unit, Satoko is shocked to see the state of it and starts cleaning. Telling her uncle to clean up the trash and pack away the futon. And like, Tepe's like, but we could just leave it out. And she's just like, no, you put it away. You don't leave a mess. After that's done, Tepe splits the cash, saying Satoko should get more than half, and is shocked by how little Satoko actually takes. It's like the smallest amount that she could take. That's still like a decent amount. Satoko says they need to celebrate, offering Tepe a drink, which turns into many, while she enjoys a Hey C, which is a reference to the drink brand High C, which is like a fruit juice. Like, I'm pretty sure it's fruit juice brand. In his inebriated state, Satoko extracts the information of how to reach his old friends, as the idiot kept their number in his address books and even encrypted it with fake names. So, not much of an idiot in that situation, right? Until Satoko manages to get the correct fake name out of him. It's like, wow, you get this deadbeat drunk and he just spills all his secrets. So in an alley near Flower Road, Satoko manages to buy herself a gun and bullets with enough money to buy his trust. It's like, what?
Yeah, like it's totally not suspicious that a small child would have a big bag of cash.
And it's not suspicious that it's just a little child buying a gun in the first place.
Yeah. In a flashback, we see Satoko ask Mion to teach her how to shoot a gun, who has had training from a foreign ex-soldier.
And that's
Mion expresses her...
by the way, has had that training.
Yeah.
Not Satoko.
Mion expresses her desire to have a big water gun fight in the club, a reference to Ep 22 of the original anime, and gives Satoko an airsoft gun to practice with. During practice, Satoko notes how well the model gun is made, and Mion comments that the gun was made to have the same weight as a real gun. Satoko keeps up her practice until she's able to shoot down the pebbles of rock piles with incredible accuracy.
And like
in the morning,
she like practices the whole timeline basically.
Yeah. In the morning, Satoko gets a phone call from Rena and Mion to get herself and Rika down to the game shop for the tournament. Mion, Keiichi, and Rena finally show up to the tournament, much to Keiichi's shock of the location and the amount of people taking part. Everyone is excited to be playing their games apart from Satoko because she's played this game so many times. And it's like, I'm so bored.
But I like how like the two people she's playing against is like, isn't this the first time?
Yeah, not for her.
Yeah.
Satoko clean sweeps her game while Mion also wins hers, so they both go and have tea. Satoko prepares to eject Mion, remembering how she asked Yua about why there were no worlds where Mion lost herself to paranoia. This is because Hinamizawa syndrome is triggered in those physically distant from Queen, aka Rika, or experiencing high mental stress. That's why, despite being emotional, Mion's logical thinking or her sense of duty as the next Sonozaki head bolsters her resolve. Satoko is curious to see what Mion would do if she was inflicted by the Hinamizawa syndrome.
Yeah, it sort of feels like with this new, like the new stuff that we've been getting, it's like fantasy wish fulfillment in the way of like, what if this character goes insane? What if this one goes insane? Like as we, especially with the montage that we get, I like it.
Yeah. Everyone in the games club gets a toy for taking part in the game tournament, but Keiichi decides to give Mion the girly doll on Rika's word since it doesn't fit him. With everyone none the wiser, Satoko has dispelled her curse to Mion and has disposed of the needle behind the vending machine.
Again, that carelessness.
How did they not notice that?
Yeah, well, it's tucked behind the vending machine. Like Setsuko
Wouldn't
is
she at
doing the
least
bare
feel it, you know?
minimum of hiding her evidence, but it's like there's no way no one's seeing her duck back there and putting it there and checking what it is. Because like she can't toss it because it's metal. Metal on concrete has a very specific sound. It's like
And
how does
you don't
Sako
have,
not get caught for so long?
yeah, I know, it's because of plot armor, that's why.
Eh. The 9th of June 12th, Mion finishes up her shift at Angel Mort, and outside she takes a moment to hug the doll Keiji gave her. And on June 14th, the class has a cooking lesson to learn how to make curry, which Tien takes very seriously to the point she throws a spatula and soup ladle so hard at Kechi's feet they embed themselves in the ground. It's like, oh, don't mess with the teacher. Like, the fact that, like, a spatula you sort of can make stick in the ground a bit, but the soup ladle sticks, like, handle first in the ground. Which is like, excuse me? How strong does a person have to be able to embed the soup ladle handle first? Mion announces a curry showdown between the games club to make the best curry, and Keiji is nervous because he can't cook, but all the girls can. Satoko tries to trick Keiji into taking the lid off his rice early, and when that fails, she knocks Keiichi's curry to the ground, pours a bag of salt into Rena's curry, and makes Mion's curry too sweet. It's like, I feel like Satoko would get banned for all those actions.
Yeah.
Like, if it was an actual, like, cooking show. But because it's the games club, you can do whatever you want, apparently. Like, no one takes the opportunity to return the favor to Satoko. It's like, you had the chance to actually just, like, Keiji had the biggest chance while while she was distracted with dealing with Rena and Mion's curries, to just run over and shove hers off the off the bench as well. I don't know, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he could have made it so that Rika was the only winner. Oh wait, no, I think it was like Satoko and Rika were working together or something. Because it was like because they're younger, they had to work in like a team.
Yeah.
But honestly, if Satoko is gonna be like that at that point, I'd just be like, sorry, Rika, and just shove the curry off, like that curry off the bench. Ow! It hit my knuckle. I hit my knuckle on the mic stand. Not hard, but still. Ow. On their way home, Mion says she has to go to work. Like, she has work to go to. But instead heads home and changes herself to look like Shion to visit Keiji. All while the all-seeing Setsuko watches. The next day, Keiji embarrasses Mion by returning the food containers to her in front of everyone, but explains that Shion came by with the food for him. The evening of June 16th, Mion does her work at the game shop, barely avoiding getting seen by Keiji and Shion until they enter the shop. Mion is upset by Keiji's supposed betrayal, despite her pretending to be Shion in the first place. It's like, you pretended to be Shion in the first place. What did you expect to have happen? It's like, and also, this is like why it's sort of confusing with the Mion and Shion stuff at times.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, who are we talking to in this moment? Is the question every time. Which does set up for some good moments. Watanagashi night quickly rolls around, with Keiji and Mion setting out to find Satoko and Rika. Meanwhile, Shion gets her driver/protector, Kasai, to drop her off at the festival, to which he tells her to be aware of her surroundings while there. Shion says she'll ask Mion if she could stay at the mansion for the night, surprising Kasai a bit, considering what night it is. It's like, you're going to stay at one of the 3 big family houses on the night that Oyashiro's curse is like the strongest. At the festival, Keiji has disappeared, and Satoko brings up that he might be somewhere with Shion to annoy Mion. It's like, Satoko knows what's going on, and she's trying to egg the situation on. You want to take the last few points?
And that was the one, instead of getting
Yeah.
a good... That's one right there? Yeah. Instead of getting a good view of Rika's dance, Shion has dragged Keiji into going inside the ritual tool storehouse with Mio. During Rika's dance, Mio finally breaks and scratches her neck due to overthinking the situation between Shion and Keiji, and whatever they are doing. While everyone is down at the river, Mio and Tomatake steal a truck since their vehicles might have trackers on them after Mio tells Tomatake the truth about final operation. Oshi thinks they ran and stole the truck because of Oyashiro's curse and plans to follow up on the last 2 people that were that they were seen with, Shion and Keiichi. Keiichi gets back to Sonozaki Mansion to find Kasai there, Kasai there to give her a powerful off-market model taser. Shion is confident no one could get to her with all the security at Sonozaki Mansion, but Kasai tells her to hold onto the taser anyway. The moment Kasai leaves, Oishi shows up to talk with Shion about Mio and Tomataki. After talking to Oishi, Shion calls Keiichi to ask if they did go into the storehouse or while Mion overhears what they did. Turns out, Shion wasn't calmly listening to Keiichi scream. Instead, Mion confronted her about endangering Keiichi, tripping Shion so that she couldn't get away. She didn't trip her. What happened was, she goes to run, but
No, she
then,
grabs her ankle. She grabs
she
her
just
ankle.
bends down and grabs the ankle. It's like, well, you're not going anywhere,
that
mother.
technically counts as tripping her because you grab an ankle, and pull, you're gonna make someone fall over.
But I don't know. It's just like it didn't look like tripping to me. Tripping is when someone's walking and then you use your foot to trip them.
Well,
But anyway,
either way, you're stopping a foot from moving, and so they fall over. You're technically tripping someone.
Mion gets up close to Shion, who accidentally hands Mion the taser while pushing her away, allowing Mion to knock her out from behind with the taser twice, and then accidentally choking her to death, trying to get the truth. Taking the taser to Oryo's throat, Mion questions her about being behind Oyoshiro's curse, and then gives her a little zap.
Well, no, does she actually give her a zap at the end of the episode?
Yeah, I swear she does.
I don't think she actually does.
Because I hear the taser go like, so maybe she was
then she
threatening
does.
her.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
she didn't do it and she was just threatening her.
Shion.
So weird, there's a new Japanese girl where I work and her name is Shion.
I love how Shion had the essentially the better weapon, but in the process of trying to get away, she just hands Mion the weapon. It's like, congrats, you killed yourself. Like, all she had to do was press a button. She could have even managed that.
Yeah.
Like, she actually pushes with the hand that has the taser in it. It's like, here you go, you can kill me with this. Anyway, that's the end of episode 5. We're gonna end this episode here. I think we went a little bit longer than we expected. Kept getting distracted by some tangents, didn't we?
Yeah.
Anyways, links will be in the description to both of Bailey's channels, both of my channels, and to Twitch as well for you guys to go check out. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so no next video comes out. A ding, 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 a ding.
Dong, dong, dong.
I'm the Mad Scientist. Mad Scientist out.
Bye, everybody.